Hey, Hunter Dawkins again. This is my Being Bad, the School to Prison Pipeline infographic presentation. The first question is Crystal Laura describes what happened to Chris, her brother, within the special education system as a completely preventable tragedy. Reflect on how the narrative that she tells supports or challenges that supposition. Um, when she's talking about her brother, she says that he begins to kind of act out. And when he begins to act out, she kind of is that a sign? Is it a sign that he's acting out for attention? Is it a sign he's acting out because he doesn't understand? Is he acting out because he wants help? Um, what ends up happening is they have a zero tolerance policy, and this acting out that he does um, with the zero tolerance policy ends up pretty much the school basically gives up on him and says, "All right, here's what you're going to do." Um, he's special needs. He's going to get these services, and we're going to kind of push him off to the side. And really, what happens when schools do that is these students look elsewhere for validation. They look elsewhere for love and care at school, and lots of times that is in the form of the friend he finds that is named Geronimo. In the bathroom smoking pot or weed, and it just sends him down a bad road because that school diagnoses him and then just kind of pushes him off to the side, and that's a sad truth that does take place when it comes to students who act out and who are given a sped diagnosis. The second question was, how do notions of whiteness and white supremacy shape this narrative? No, we are talking institutions, not individuals in this argument. One thing that stood out in the beginning of the book was that it statistically shows that white students are more apt to be labeled emotionally disturbed, but the black students who act the same way are learning disabled. They can't learn. The white students, they just need a little love and a little care, but the black students, they can't learn, and it's that stigmatism that or that whiteness where they believe the white students just need a little help to where they think the black students can't do this at all. And I pose the questions: why is it like this? It's sad that that's how we are in our educational system in certain places, is that we coddle, and I don't mean coddle, I do mean coddle the white students, but the students of color, they're learning disabled. They can't do it. They need to be shoved off into the side because we make it think we think, I guess, that it makes us look bad as a society that, or as a school system, that we have students that can't learn. Well, maybe if we don't show them and we push them off to the side and give them these accommodations, then they'll do better. But in truth, like I said earlier, that doesn't happen because they end up getting ignored a lot of times, and that's very, like earlier, it's a preventable tragedy. If they just need love, and I'll talk about that in a little bit. The institutions want to protect the white students while they see the black students as expendable. That's kind of my thought process on that. Is they want to protect those white students because you have that feeling of whiteness and the white supremacy, and they see the black students as expendable. That nobody will notice. There'll be another stat or another number or another wheel in the cog of the school system failing, and so on and so forth. And that's really not how it should be. Every student should matter the same. Everybody should. The ones that are struggling should almost get more help. They shouldn't fall through the wayside. But what can we do as educational leaders? Truly get to know the students and build relationships with them. I've found in my time that the more tough students to deal with, all they want is love and care. They want to know somebody cares for them, and if you build that relationship with them, they're not going to act out. They may have their times, but they're going to respect you, and they're going to respect your classroom. They're going to respect the learning that takes place. I had a student who was a known drug dealer, and his dad was a big drug dealer in this area, and they called me in the office and said, "Hey, so and so is, this is the situation. If you suspect anything, let us know." I had not one issue out of that kid the whole time he was with me. However, I walked into his next class every day, and his other teacher was just very curt and very dismissive with him, and he didn't respect that teacher. He did not like that teacher because that teacher, I feel like, and I asked him. He said they didn't act like they care about him, and so we just got to truly get to know all the students and build relationships with them. Love and care for students, especially those who act out in syncopation, simply like I just said. Build that relationship, and you'll see the discipline. You'll see that drop. You'll see them want to come to school. They want to come to your class. They want to see you. And if all our teachers were like that, we'd be great. But we do have teachers in our educational system who are there to collect a paycheck and have summers off, and that's a sad truth. And I wish it wasn't like that. Before punishing, show empathy. Show empathy. Try to understand their situation. If punishment is necessary, then absolutely go ahead and punish them. But let them know, hey, this is why I'm punishing you. This is what you did. This is your punishment. We're going to get through it together, and then we're going to move on from it, and we're going to be better. And be slow to judge. Slow to judge, because you don't know the situation they're coming from. They may not have. They may be living on their own. They may be raising their family by themselves because their parents are non-existent or are absent, or they don't have a really good. They don't have a really good role model. So just be slow to judge and seriously show empathy with these students. That way that you can make sure that they know you love and care for them. That's my thoughts on Being Bad. The book. It was a very eye-opening book with, I say eye-opening, but it's kind of along the lines of what we've been talking about all year or all semester. And but it does show validation that we do have a broken system, and that our school, it's sad that school to prison pipeline is even existent. But it is. But we as educational leaders can stop it. We can put a stop to it. We can try to slow the flow, as you say, as I say. So I look forward to hearing from y'all and seeing what y'all's thoughts on the book were. See y'all.